Sterling Global University is established under Haryana Private Universities Act. The university is fully devoted to achieving its vision, and objectives to academic excellence in all spheres of knowledge. The campus is fully equipped with ultra-modern infrastructure and surrounded by lush green, eco-friendly environment. The university is offering many courses from diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate, research-oriented, MPhil and PhD. The campus is a blend of various schools such as School of Engineering and Technology, Commerce and Management, Architecture, Fine Arts, Pharmaceutical Science, Legal Studies, Applied Sciences, Agriculture, Humanities and Social Sciences, and School of Paramedical Sciences, Hospitality Management, Yoga, and Naturotherapy, and School of Media and Journalism, etc. OHM Sterling Global University is headed by our very charismatic personality, Dr. Puneet Goyal, Chancellor, having master in communication, who is a man with a distinct vision. Dr. Puneet Goyal, as the Chancellor of the university, is a doctor by profession and believes in passion, education, value creation, and pragmatism for being successful in any sphere of life. Our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Poonam Goyal, who is a real source of inspiration for one and all and the backbone of our university. She is also doctorate by the education, and she is having zeal to work and a vision to promote any organization. Being the perfectionist, she is always focused towards the field of her interest along the betterment of OHM Sterling Global University. Now, the time to meet our Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. Ajay Kumar Podar. He is an ex-Vice Chancellor, Texla American University, Zambia from Africa. He has done PhD in management. He has a strong record of managing projects, creating procedures, IT automation, and strategic planning while preserving the core culture and values of the organization. He has been awarded by Asia, Africa Development Council Excellence Award 2018 and also Rashtriya Gaurav Award in 2016. So I welcome all of you to the present webinar. Can I introduce our Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ajay Kumar Podar?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Shobana Podar, and I formally welcome our distinguished guest of the speaker today, Mr. Aman Garg from Amazon India. So formally welcome Mr. Garg. We will indeed thankful for you to accepting our invitation to address our students as well as our faculty member and the participants from the other part of the country. And I believe that there are certain participants from across the world also. So formally welcome to you. I also welcome my Chancellor and Pro Chancellor in this webinar. They will also be joining in somewhere in the lecture. So we will all be benefiting from the lecture of Mr. Aman Garg. As the topic is aptly made for this webinar, that the leadership, the students and other faculty members, you all know that the good leaders are not made, are actually made but not born. If you have the desire and willpower, you can become an effective leader. Good leader developed through a never-ending process of self-study, education, training, and experience. So to inspire your worker into higher level of teamwork, there are certain things that a leader should know about himself, his boundaries, and his charisma, that how he can inspire his followers, his workers, and other people. So I believe there are 4 factors in the leadership. One is that the leader, the second is the follower, third one is the situation, and fourth one is the motivation. So first one, as we will talk about that leader, you see the leadership is positive or negative. It cannot be say or cannot be estimated by the leader himself. It is their followers or the people who are reporting to the leader that they have to decide that whether the leader is inspiring, motivating, or he is not able to give a proper leadership. So the second is the follower. The follower, you see, every follower has a different kind of motivation. So if a new employee join in the organization, that employee will require a much more motivation than the existing one who is already in the system and knows the system very well. The third one, what we have discussed, that the situational, that many a time the situation demand that the leader has to be a little bit techy. You can say that he has to be very much understand the situation, that which follower or which workers or which companion or which person of his team should be given certain kind of the situational decision or the certain kind of the leadership. The fourth one is the for motivation. The leader has to be a very good communicator, so that whatever he wants to communicate to his team, he should be able to communicate properly. He should be able to provide all the kind of the imaginary things what the leader is actually wanted to give it to his team or her team. I always believe, as per my experience in the life, that a leader should not be a leader who is sitting in the cabin or sitting into the chair. Actually, he has to be moving around. He needs to be pull his or her sleeves whenever the time demand for that. So, with this kind of introduction of the leadership, I believe that our speaker, who is an eminent person in the Amazon, he will be focusing more on the leadership and the technological part of the new leadership of this generation. So with this, thank you very much again, Mr. Aman Garg. With the Om Global University is definitely delighting to hear you. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Sobna.
It's my pleasure now to give the brief intro of Mr. Aman Garg. He is SDE at Amazon and ex-Technogram Solutions xwire.com. As a member of Amazon's global retail system development team, he plays a key role in the evaluation of competitive monitoring team to solve the world's most complex technical challenges in crawling, large-scale computing, distributed system, web applications, data mining, scalability, security, and algorithm, to name a few. He has a keen interest in solving complex algorithm problems and enjoys designing the system from the group up. Now, Mr. Aman Garg will share his insights and how you can get into MNC and what are the leadership principles that you should follow. Now, over to Mr. Aman Garg and welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shobna, for inviting me in this session. So, first of all, it's a privilege to share my experience here with all of you. I hope this session, you will enjoy this session and you will take some key learnings from this session. So yeah, so without wasting any time, I should start then. So as the Vice Chancellor said itself, that leaders are made, they are not born, right? So that's where these leadership principles comes into the picture, that you need to know about these principles so that you can be a leader. See, as he told that you cannot born a leader, right? You have to become a leader, and for that you have to follow certain principles. So before we actually see that what are these principles and why these principles are important, let's take a scenario. Consider yourself that consider yourself that you are running a company, okay, and now because you are running a company, basically you got some idea. You said that okay, fine, I have this idea in my mind and I want to execute it, but the issue is that I want the workforce. I want some workforce who can collaborate with me and help me in executing this idea, right? Now you will what will be your first step? You will went into the market. You will say, okay, whom I can hire. Okay, can I hire this guy? Can I hire this guy? You cannot hire XYZ guy, right? You cannot say that okay, I'm going to hire this guy and he will help me in executing. He will help me in executing my ideas. Okay, he will help me in reaching out to the public. Okay, no, it doesn't work like that, right? You must have something in your mind. Okay, these are the principles, these are the things that I want in that particular person that I'm going to hire. If that particular person possesses that particular skills, I will hire that person, right? That is what you will do. If you won't do it, then what will happen? What will happen? A layoff will happen. You will after some time you will see that that particular employee is not performing. You will fire him, right? And what will happen? You spend resources, you spend your resources, your time, and so on and so forth, but still he was not able to deliver the results, and that was because you were not able to hire the good candidate. That's from the perspective of employer, right? But being an employee, because see, we all are here to earn the money, right? Nobody is here like no, like I'm just here. Everybody wants to learn something also, but everybody wants to see ki acha theek hai, I want to learn, I want to earn the money too. So to earn the money, and companies also want to earn the money. Company won't be like okay, we are just providing you the money, okay, you just do the job for us. No, it doesn't work like that. So for that they see that these leadership, whether this particular candidate is following these leadership principles or not. If that candidate is following the leadership principles, then it's a very good fit for us. We know our company will grow, employees will grow, and our customers will be happy. So that's why these leaderships principle become more important, right? So I'll start with the very first leadership principle, that a company looks into the candidate. And again, the things that I'm talking here is actually irrespective of whether you are of management student, whether you are of engineering student, whether you are of master student, whatever you are, this is applicable to all of you guys, right? I mean, you cannot say, hey, I'm not a management guy, so why should I follow the leadership principles? No, you should have these skills. In engineering also, we follow these things. So yeah, so the very first principle that companies look into the candidate, or specifically a big MNCs look into the candidate, is ownership. So what is this ownership? See, most of the time we expect we expect just to pay the bills, but let someone do all the work. Okay. And if there's a problem, we'll say we'll get on the phone, and owners on the other end. So basically, we'll get on the phone and we'll complain. But owners, on the other hand, understand that it's up to them. It's up to them to fix any problem, and that came up actually. Okay. And if they get on the phone, it's because they realize they need an expert to make sure the problem is fixed properly and for good. But I mean, most of the time we have this attitude like, hey, it's not my job to do. It's your job. We play the blame game. But in big MNCs or in big companies, things works differently actually. So they expect you that, okay, you take the ownership, like okay, this is the product. If you are building this product, right, then you should say, okay, fine, I will be responsible for all the mistakes. I will be the one who will be correcting all the things, and whatever the resources I'll be needing, I will be managing them. And yeah, basically whatever the problem will come up, I will provide the solution. I won't be like, no, it was because of this guy, this particular project failed. No, I mean, yes, there might be a scenarios that where you will be saying, no, it was definitely not my fault. It was his fault, right? But again, okay, now you are faulting him, and he will fault you back. He will say, no, I did everything correctly. It's you who did the wrong things. So now what is happening? We are just playing the blame game. Now project is in. We have stopped our project making, and we have started doing the blame game. Companies don't want that. So company expect you that you should have this ownership, and you should be like you should be able to handle all the scenarios of the project by yourself. You should not be saying that it is not my fault, it's not my job. Company don't expect you these things. Okay, I mean, definitely you can rely on experts outside the companies acknowledging the problem bigger than something you can solve by yourself. But again, you cannot say that it was not my fault. That is one leadership principle. Okay, so moving to the second principle, that is invention. Why invention is important? So basically, when we talk about the word invention, we say that okay, that means we are scientists. No, we are not scientists. Invention is done at in every organization. Invention is done in every organization. It is not done by scientists only. Invention can be done by you. Invention can be done by me. Invention can be done by anyone. Okay, it's just we need the idea. We need the idea that okay, this is the idea I have in my mind. So see, okay, consider this example that, okay, you are working for a company. Okay. Now employer expects you that employer is out of ideas. Employer is out of ideas now. Okay. And he or she hired you actually to make sure that you gave him some ideas. So see, if I take the example of Google, uh, Google said that we are just a searching engine. Initially, Google was nothing but a searching engine, right? But now we are seeing Google is actually launching phones, Google is launching cameras, okay, and whatnot. Google is doing everything. But so they didn't stop at this, we are just a searching engine, so we will just help to provide the search results. No, they kept inventing the things, and it's not that their CEO was doing this job. No, it was their the employees who were doing this job, that they came up with the ideas. They said, okay, can we do this thing? Can we make this product more better? Okay, so that's where your invention comes into the picture. If I talk about, uh, most of the time we rely on the textbook solutions, right? We rely that, okay, there's no, because when we are doing something, we first check, okay, is there any textbook solution? If there is, then that's great, we can do it. If not, then we say, no, it's not possible. But actually, that's the part of the fun. That's the challenge, right? Sometimes we are faced with a problem no one has encountered with before. Okay, or an opportunity to build something that does not have a parallel in industry or the world, right? So that's where your inventions comes into the picture. You should have, see, okay, this thing is not developed or invented. Let's try to see if I can dig out some knowledge about it. Can I do like, okay, if I there are some pieces around the world, can I combine them and make the product out of them? So if you can, you are a great asset for your company. I mean, you are actually giving them the ideas, and who would want you to lose? Okay, so you should be inventive. Second one is simplify. Sorry, third one. Third one is simplify. What is simplify? See, uh, we live in a complex world, right? We live in a complex world. And if you can figure out that how to make the things simpler for the people, they will definitely value it. They will value it. I mean, if something is, if you are saying that this process is taking 5 minutes, okay, and now you are saying, hey, these things are very redundant, you don't need to perform these things. You can simply say, okay, what are the, you can analyze those things. What are the extra things we are doing? What are the extra efforts we are putting? This is not required. This is again not required. So what we can do, we can say we can remove those things and we can simplify our process. We can, if you are simplifying your process, you are making sure that customer or your user would be able to understand your product better, in a better manner. Yeah, he won't face any difficulty while accessing your product. And also you will be ensuring that, okay, because I have done the simplification, it will be easier for me to get to know about the user needs, that whether user is satisfied with this thing or not, whether my customer is satisfied or with this thing or not. So see, leaders expect and require the innovation and invention from their teams, and always find ways to simplify. They are externally aware, look for the ideas, and are not limited by not invented here actually. They expect you that they might be misunderstood long period of time, that they were trying to do this thing but they didn't, but at least they are doing, they are inventing the things, they are keeping, they are creating more ideas. So you should be inventive and you should be the one who can simplify the process. Okay, so moving to the fourth leadership principle, that is learning. actually it's a combination of learn and be curious. So what is this learn and be curious? See, great leaders are great learners. Great leaders are great learners. They don't limit their curiosity to the job at hand, but take the time. Actually, they take the time intentionally to explore and seek out or seek out the individuals from different backgrounds to gain the perspective on the world at large, right? And I know, right? I mean, I know that they put themselves. Sometimes they companies expect you that you put yourself in new and challenging situations so that you can increase your knowledge. So that you can increase your knowledge. Okay, these the leaders recognize that all solutions provide the opportunity to learn, even the negative ones, right? So it should we sometimes we have this attitude that okay, we did the mistake, we just say sorry, okay, fine, everything is fine now. Why? I mean, sorry, that's fine, you did the mistake, okay, and you accepted it also, that's great. But what did you ever see that did you ever learn something from that mistake so that it never happen again? We sometimes ignore this fact. We do that, okay, we did the mistake, let's say sorry and move ahead. Fine, it's fine, but the process should be ki we are learning the things, we are learning something from the process, we are learning that we did the mistake, why we did this mistake, so that it won't happen again. Okay, there might be an issue that for some of you that you will be saying that this is a change, this is a change, I'm not this kind of person, and change sometimes brings discomfort and sometimes become disorienting too. So that's fine. I mean, actually, if you see, it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity for learning and growth actually. So make sure you have this attitude to learn the things that okay, if I'm doing any mistake, I should be learning from it. Okay, if I don't know anything, if someone is giving me this project to do, I should learn the things. How can I execute this process? And okay, the other example could be that if you see, most of the time we say that hey, this guy was able to perform this task, I wasn't able to perform this car, but this guy was able to perform this particular task, right? Or if I say that because I should say, let's say that we are teaching, we are learning any subject, and we are saying that fine, because we are learning any subject and we didn't perform well, and some other student performed well. We just say that okay, fine, yeah, he's a good one, he's a good student, that's all. We don't see that what he exactly did, we don't show our curiosity that what he exactly did so he achieved the excellence. So we should be curious that okay, if he did something, I can do it if I can get to know about the process. Why don't you ask him? Why don't you if he is not telling you his strategies, why don't you search on internet? Why don't you ask your teachers? I mean, they are your teachers. They are here to help you only, right? And they will definitely tell you what is wrong with you, what are the improvements that you can do in your area. Just increase your curiosity. Increase your curiosity. And if you are increasing your curiosity, your employer or your company expects that okay, he is actually curious about the process. He's not here to do his job. He's actually curious about the things, and he wants to learn from it. So you should be learner and also at the same time very curious, right? Moving to the fifth leadership principle. So that is insist on highest standards. What is this insisting on highest standard? See, if you are saying that we are saying that okay, I am able to learn the things, I am very curious, okay, I own this particular project, I take the full responsibility of this project, okay, but at the end, the product that I delivered, the product or the task that I executed was not up to the mark, right? We said that no, it's we have some issues with this thing, we should do something about it, right? So what should we do? And I mean, definitely we said that it's not up to the mark. Then and now what your teachers will say, your companies will say. that okay, he was learner, he owned the project, he was curious also, but what he did, he was not able to deliver the project of highest standard. I mean, see, we won't we do we have any alternative of Google? We definitely have, but we don't look it for it. Why? Because Google is providing us such highest standard, right? That's why we are using Google, right? So we should you should be focused on that. Whatever you are doing, you should be able to deliver the highest standard. You should be insisting on highest standard, that yes, this is perfect. You are you are excellent, that you are owning the project, you are curious learner. But if you are not delivering the project of highest standard, it is as bad as not being curious, not being a good learner, or you are not being owner, right? So make sure you are insisting on highest standards, right? So then moving to the sixth principle, yeah, sixth leadership principle, that is dive deep. Now, what is this dive deep? Most of the time that when we do any mistake, as I said earlier, that when we do any mistake, we said, okay, we have done this mistake. Now let's move on. Let's move on. And we again repeat that mistake. We said, okay, fine, this mistake is done. This won't happen again. We just say this to ourselves, this won't happen again. But there are very less of us who understand this mistake. Why actually this mistake happened? What was the root cause that this mistake happened? Did I something wrong? Did someone else do something wrong? Right? If I am not analyzing the root cause of that mistake, then how can I be sure that this mistake won't happen again? How can I be so sure? I cannot be so sure, because you are not analyzing the root cause. You are not saying that, okay, fine, this mistake happened because of this. Okay, and this thing happened because of this. You're not following the chain. You're not following the chain of that particular mistake, right? So there's a high chance that you will repeat that mistake. So make sure that whatever, and also if I say companies expect you this thing, see, there will be a case that companies will be facing some technical issues. There will be a case where company will be saying that okay, this project, we launched this project, but now we are getting some issues in it. We are getting some issues from the customers, right? So you should have this attitude that, okay, fine, I will fix this. I will fix this as a owner. I will fix this. Okay, and I am curious. I am very curious why this mistake happened. Okay, and because I insisted on highest standard, I did my best to launch this project as the highest standard. But now mistake happened. I mean, we all are humans. Mistake happened with everyone. Am I diving deep? Am I reaching to the bottom of the things, that why this mistake happened, and I'm trying to solve it for good? So you should have this attitude that I'm trying to reach to the bottom of the things, and you are able to see, okay, this thing actually caused this issue, and you should be able to fix it, and you should be able to deliver. You should be able to deliver the highest standards. So yeah, that's a sixth leadership principle that you should have. That is diving deep. Again, if I explain it one more time, that is, you should not be you should actually reach. So basically the point here is that you should reach to the bottom of the things. You should analyze the root cause of the problem. Once you analyze it, then try to fix it. Don't say that this mistake happened, it won't happen again. Okay, try to find out the chain, where this chain is starting. Okay, so the last principle, the very last principle is frugality. What is this frugality? So see, frugality, I would say that for me, if I personally say, if you are doing any task, okay, you did some task, that's great, that's a great job, and you provided the highest standard, but you took some extra resources. Should this be considered as an extra point? Should I consider this as an extra point? You took the extra resources. That's fine. I mean, that's definitely a good thing that you executed the task. But I would appreciate you more if you executed this task with less resources. If you have said that, okay, fine, I am executing this task with the limited resources, then then your company will say, hey, he actually did the tremendous job. He was able to deliver his task which was of highest standard, right? And he didn't take much resources. See, there are no extra points for there are no extra points for using extra resources, right? So you should be frugal in nature, that whatever you need, just try to utilize it properly. Don't be like, okay, this is not happening, let's create one more machine, let's buy one more machine. No, try to utilize it better. If you are saying no, it is not possible with this thing, then go for the other resource. Okay, so you should be very frugal in nature, right? So these are some of the leadership principles that you should follow. And again, whether you are engineering student, whether you are of management student, these are some basic skills. And if you have these basic skills, I don't feel that any company will say no to you. Any company will say that I'm not going to hire this guy, because they know that see, companies think whenever we build any company, whenever any company is getting built, they think about the long term, right? If I'm hiring this guy, will he provide me, will he be with me in long term? Will he providing me the long term solutions? And you are actually, if you possesses these leadership skills, you are actually delivering the long term solutions. So make sure you work on these leadership principles. And yeah, I think that's about the leadership principles. And these are the leadership principles that Amazon, if I say particularly, looks into the candidate. They focus more on these things, that whether the candidate is able to take the ownership, whether the candidate is curious or not, whether a candidate is insisting on highest standard or not. Okay, so these are the things. The second question is how the technology is advancing in MNC. So that is actually very interesting one, because being from technical background, I find this question very fascinating. So see, so I actually explain one scenario. So 2 days back, me and my family were having the dinner, and we were watching TV, and we were watching IPL. And my dad said that there is this advertisement came on the TV, that is on of the phone pay, where Alia Bhatt and Amir Khan. So they were discussing that they need to. So Amir Khan was saying to Alia Bhatt that she needs to pay the fine, right? And what she did, she take out her phone and she paid the fine. And my dad said that I mean, look at the time now. Before 2010s, we used to transfer the money using checks, right? We used to transfer the money like we used to have this physical monetary with us. Now we are transferring the cash within a minute, right? So you are saying that we are actually transferring the money within a minute to anyone around the world, right? So that's how, see how much technology is advancing. And it's not because that okay, this was a rocket science. No, this was not a rocket science. These things are built by likes of you guys only, right? It's just they had this idea, they executed it, they properly researched on it, and they were able to deliver it. And that's why they need you. That's why these companies need you. They need you, that so that you can actually create these ideas, you can actually create these products, right? And yeah, and to create these products, technology plays a big role, that because you need to be good with coding, you need to be good in problem solving skills, you should know that which tech stack you will be following,